Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope forecast for week commencing the 20th of January for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. This week begins with the Sun just on the cusp of leaving the sign of Capricorn, and by Tuesday it makes its way into Aquarius, the 11th sign of the Zodiac. It is fixed, it's governed by Saturn, the same ruler as Capricorn, but also Uranus. Now that's ironic because immediately this week the Sun goes into a right angle with Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So both are fixed, and that can lead to a sustained approach, but also it can lead to a little bit of inflexibility. So one of the things we can do to deal with the potential for tension that this right angle does create is just try to just go with things a little bit. But certainly the Sun moving into Aquarius, where there is already Mercury, does give us an opportunity to think more socially, to pick up the speed of things when it comes to our interactions with others. Mercury is also going to be forging a brilliant angle to Mars in the second half of this week. This gives us a clarity of thought in Aquarius, where Mercury is exalted, and Mars in Sagittarius is very much about expansion. So we could find ourselves traveling with friends or communicating with people at a distance. Now Mars does continue its semi-sextile with Jupiter, which is brilliant. So if you are applying for jobs at a distance or in a different locality, this can be a very helpful influence. It gives us a sense of encouragement. Now there is going to be a new moon which occurs on Friday in the sign of Aquarius. Of course, it's still squaring up with Uranus. So for the following month, our social plans and ideas need to take into account that perhaps someone close to us, a friend, or may have a different take on something, a different approach to finances, or perhaps we are going to reevaluate our values, which is governed by Aquarius, but in the physical sense by Taurus, because that's to do with everyday money. Now, it is also true that Venus in the last 2 days of this week is going to be aligning alongside Neptune. And also Mars does go into a right angle with Neptune, and therefore also with Venus, as this week draws to a close. So if there is somebody that we're drawn to, that we find very attractive and very alluring, it's probably best, especially if it's something that's moving quite quickly, Mars in Sagittarius, quite swift energy, that we just kind of really assimilate what this might be about. Venus conjunct Neptune can be a sign of true love if people are lucky enough to meet when this is happening, but it also can see us kidding ourselves about how good someone is, or someone we can put on a pedestal, we find out that actually they've got clay feet just like the rest of us. So it is important to understand anything to do with details, clarity and trust as this week draws to a close. But this friendlier vibe is coming in through the guise of the Sun and Mercury in the sign of Aquarius. Your specific forecast, Aquarius, shows with the Sun roaring into your sign on Tuesday. This can be a really notable week. There's also a new moon in Aquarius on Friday. This is going to bring a real burst of revitalizing energy. Is there a catch? There's always a catch in astrology, unfortunately. It's clashing the Sun all through this week with your modern ruler of Uranus. So as much as you may have an individual hope, you can't be too impetuous about deploying your plan, because someone close to you may be a bit put out by this, or you could just rush it simply because Uranus is making your emotional responses that much quicker and not necessarily so well thought through. But despite this, Jupiter forges an ace link with Mars this week, and a friend could be very important in terms of your professional development. Perhaps they're going to put in a good word discreetly. Also Mars and Mercury in your sign where it's exalted, forging a fabulous link. So I do feel you're going to be feeling more sociable this week. You're coming out of yourself. All that energy in the 12th solar house has been really hard to bear over the last couple of years for us water bearers. But as the week draws to a close, with Venus combining with Neptune, your sense of financial probity could just be altered a little bit. It's great to be generous, and very often Aquarius people do invest in good causes, but don't let somebody close to you, like a friend, pull at your heartstrings. Someone could very craftily just manipulate your natural goodwill. So do be sure that you keep a little bit of a firm boundary around your resources or your values when it comes to your connections to others. If you'd like to elevate your knowledge way beyond your zodiac sign and learn what the next 12 months will hold, please see the link beneath this video. You can order your 12-month horoscope forecast and your character analysis and get 30% off. But for now, good luck and goodbye.